Hello and welcome to live coverage of First Friday in the creative corridor of the Pikes Peak region, from downtown Colorado Springs through Old Colorado City and into Manitou Springs, Colorado. I'm Angela Seals with the Cultural Office, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dave Gardner of Studio 809. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Angela. Once a month is not nearly often enough to see you, you know.
I know, this is so wonderful, and it has become such a positive experience this spring to get together as a community and support local arts and culture, particularly our small businesses in the creative sector, our galleries. And that's what First Friday is all about. Tonight from 5 to 6 p.m. we have live interviews, including 3 gallery visits and an on the street segment. So we're excited to highlight for you some of the great personalities behind arts and culture in our region and bring it all to you to inspire you to participate in virtual First Friday or live First Friday, because we're hybrid tonight, aren't we, Dave?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting to see that happening.
It is really a hopeful thing. So you'll find all of the details about First Friday at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. There you'll find a listing of all the things happening tonight and an asterisk beside all of the galleries that are also open. There are some social distancing or by appointment experiences that you can have this evening. So check it all out at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday.
Well, Angela, shall we get the show on the road?
I think we should, but Dave, can I mention one other thing that I just wanted to mention, that we have a challenge going on tonight during First Friday. Purchases of local art from our local galleries through virtual First Friday. So that means when you hop online and you buy art, or you stop into a gallery tonight and you buy art, there is a special $1,500 match for the full evening that's provided by the Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak region. You'll find all the details about that on peakradar.com/virtual First Friday, but wanted to make sure people know that we are adding that extra incentive to support local artists and to support our local galleries tonight.
I am so glad that the match is on. That's great, and people really respond to that, so.
It's been a really great thing the past 2 virtual First Fridays to see the community buy local art and come out and support these small businesses, and I know it's really encouraged all of them.
Well, I know there's a lot of pent-up enthusiasm and excitement especially with the hybrid, that now people can actually be on the streets, and we'll get a little bit of a peek of what's happening on the streets shortly, won't we?
That's right, in just about 10 minutes.
All right, well, I am going to invite Anita Marie in from the green room. Hello, Anita Marie.
We're being joined live right now from Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery in downtown Colorado Springs. And Anita's with us now. Hi there, Anita. Can you hear us? Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery opened just 1 year ago across the street from Cottonwood Center for the Arts in the downtown creative district. And we're excited tonight to get to see the new show that she is opening tonight on June 5th. Anita, are you with us?
I am.
Hi.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Wonderful.
The gallery behind you looks so beautiful. Will you tell us a little bit about the gallery and what you're bringing to the art scene with your gallery?
Well, I appreciate that. As you can see, we've got a lot of paintings. This particular show is 2 master artists. They're both local artists, but they are considered master artists. So it's very rare to have this in a single show. They are Richard Dalquist and Chuck Mardos, and I am just so honored to be able to have this quality in our gallery. So you can see here, as I hope you're seeing as I'm passing by, we have a little bit of Western art. We will have a Western art show in the fall, hopefully a live one. But right now, this one is primarily called Earth's Color, and both Chuck Mardos and Richard Dalquist have brought to life some of the most wonderful pieces that you would see with Earth's different colors. So what you're looking at here, you see some landscapes, you see some beach scenes with some individuals. I'd like to point out one just right here over my shoulder,
Yes.
is called Winter's Gate. This one is really a favorite because
Oh,
it looks almost like what you would see in a photograph,
Yeah.
but any of us that do photography realize it's really hard to capture the depth of a scene. So what you'll see in the artist rendition is a little bit more of attention to the peaks of light on the snow, the deep shadows, and of course then the whole depth of field would be different. So in this one I love looking at it and saying, are you inside the gate or are you outside getting ready to walk in? So it really gives me something to look at and think about, you know, as I see this almost every day, and every day it feels different to me.
you know,
Great scene on an 85-degree day too.
yeah.
Oh, yes, it would be. Yes, it would. And then as you see some of the other landscapes here, let me just slide around this way. So you see a couple of really interesting. This one has a little feeling of a Monet, so it's not Impressionism. This is very traditional oil painting, but it's a lot of what we love about what we saw in Monet, which was the colors and the water particularly, and a couple of others. So then here's another one, but I want to slide around this way. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. And this is another one over here with Chuck Mardos. Now, anybody that lives in Colorado really knows all these various areas, and this is called the Road to Buffalo Peak. So anyone that's been out in the Buena Vista area would recognize this. Now, this one was done by Chuck Mardos while he was out with another local artist, Dean Mabe, and they found this road and just were captivated by the beauty. You see the trees, the deep shadows, the winding road. You can barely see in the back of the peak, one of the peaks of Buffalo Peak, but the beauty of this is you cannot capture this as a photo because that's not really what you're seeing. The depth of field is compressed. You see a lot more in this than you actually saw in a photograph, and that's the artist's impression. So this one and the Richard Dahlquist were plein air. So the artist actually goes out and paints in the field, and I think that's just really different because they're not painting from photographs. They are painting from what they see.
Anita, could you come back on screen for us? We have about 2 minutes, and I'd love a chance to ask you how the current exhibit fits within your larger vision of what Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery is about. If someone has never come, should they expect to see masterwork paintings? Is that what you usually show? What is your niche in the arts community?
I would say yes, master art is primarily what we show here. We did have a show at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, that included some students. So we do classes here, or we used to do classes here. We're not doing them right now, but we do intermediate to advanced level oil painting. We have brilliant students, and we did an exhibit with them, like I said earlier, in this year. And so you did get to see those. We had some great sales. People really started collecting some of the students. But as you see from some of these, this is very typically what you will see in the gallery. This is not a framed piece yet, but I mean, they are, when you say master artist, it truly is. And you can see the difference of what you might see. So I think that's our niche here. We really have some pieces that are spectacular. They relish in shadows and light. I mean, if you look at this one with some of the light and on the peaks, I mean, just beautiful. So I think that's what we bring to the Springs, is a real focus on master arts. Not that there isn't some in other galleries, of course, but we've made it more exclusive. So if you're looking for something in your home or office that you say, I really want something that is collectible, but also something that I can stand to look at every day, here's such a lovely little piece here. You're not going to get tired of seeing these. And I think that's an important part of what we're bringing right now.
I agree. The technical ability is incredible. And I love what you mentioned earlier, that it isn't a painter trying to reproduce something like a photograph. The painter is bringing their own vision and their own perspective and their own technique to every image. And that is part of what makes original painting so exciting to see, and especially to see in person, of course. But thank you so much for this virtual tour.
Yes, well, I'm so
gallery.
pleased. I'm so pleased that, and I hope you'll come and visit. Right now, we're only doing private showings because of the virus, but I'm always happy to do private showings and give people a chance to see what we're doing here. So.
Well, thank you so much. You can find Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery right up at the top under A on peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. You can do a virtual tour of Anita's gallery there, in addition to this private tour that she just gave to First Friday Live. Thank you so much for taking us through, and good luck tonight.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Anita. Bye-bye.
Bye, Anita.
Bye-bye.
Isn't that exciting, Dave, to see work of that caliber? I mean, it just reminds you that artists have been coming here since the very beginning of people moving west, of the kind of movement west of European culture, and that kind of those painterly people who would come out for Taos and for Colorado Springs and for Denver and find the landscapes here inspiring. And it's exciting to see Richard Dahlquist and Chuck Mardas carrying on that tradition now, right there at Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery.
Impressive stuff. Shame on me. I don't typically step into art galleries too often because my wallet's pretty thin, but that's one of the neat things that I'm really enjoying about Virtual First Fridays is I'm getting into all of these galleries and not feeling like I'm necessarily wasting their time as I window shop. But I fell in love with a couple of things at Anita Marie Fine Arts that paintings.
I think a lot of people feel intimidated about going in galleries because they feel like they'll be expected to spend a lot more money than they have. And while of course we do encourage everyone to support local artists and buy local art, especially right now through Virtual First Friday, you know, there isn't that much pressure. A lot of folks know that you're coming through just to experience what they have on the wall during a night like First Friday. So this is an event that really kind of gives you that cover. Come on in and check some things out, and maybe you'll surprise yourself. I know I have found a piece or two that I wasn't planning on buying.
Yeah, and it's not all unaffordable. It's affordable, some of it, much of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially here, we're in this market, that's true.
All right. Well, I'm pretty excited about this next event. This will be our first live shot.
Live on the street. First Friday live on the street.
Yeah. And if this works well, we might do this. We might do this on a regular basis. And there she is.
Hi, Katie Hartshorn is joining us from Downtown Partnership in downtown Colorado Springs Creative District. And Katie is going to show us a little bit of the scene in downtown right now. She's right on Tejon Street. Are you with us, Katie?
I am. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for giving us a view of downtown right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the beginning of what would normally be our patio season. As you see over here at Wild Goose, it's pretty packed over there. And they have a really great reservation system. You don't necessarily have to do it online, but you can just walk in and make a reservation. They are practicing all the public health guidelines with social distancing, and all of their servers are wearing masks. And then over here at Rooster's House of Ramen, hey, this is Risa from Cratchit, Colorado. And then we're over here at Rooster's House of Ramen, where they have patio seating, and they're also open for inside dining. And then also 4 by Brother Luck. 4 by Brother Luck, as you all know, also has a sister restaurant, Lucky Dumpling, and they are open. They've actually taken advantage of our extended patio season, extended patio permit. So we are working with the city to extend. So for example, if you see this patio area here, Brother Luck could ask for extended patio to be able to seat more diners down here. So we're working on that. And we're also working very quickly and very closely with the city to, a lot of you have asked for a shutdown of Tejon for outside dining. And we are really, really working on that. There's a lot of things that go into making a decision like that,
Sure.
as far as traffic and barricades and things like that. So, but we are looking at that, and it's definitely going to be an option.
So Katie, a lot of the restaurants, even as they may be starting to seat people within social distancing guidelines, are still offering curbside and takeout service. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And now more than ever, they still need to. They're still trying to get their head above water. So yeah, the curbside and the takeout, like as you can see right here, let me show you. We have designated spots that the Downtown Partnership has created so that you can just get in and out and get your order. Yeah, any kind of order, any way you can support these local businesses, they just really appreciate it.
Katie, you're giving us a view at about 5:15, and so it still looks like there's some table space available, but I'm betting in another hour that it's gonna start packing up a little bit.
Yep, I agree. So at South Tejon, when I was coming up here, there were already people starting to fill in, and Odyssey has some people at their patio already as well. So yeah, it's a great time to get out and just practice socially, getting together safely socially.
It's new for all of us, and I know when each of us ventures out into public space right now, it feels a little vulnerable, but I find that each time I do it, I find that we can do this. You get used to your mask, and you kind of just get used to the space, the different space, and it'll get more comfortable in time, don't you think?
I totally agree. Yep. Yeah. So it's going to be a great first Friday. I think I'm going to go check out Moonbeam. I'm super excited to see her new space. Yeah. And I think there's a total of 4 that you can go into in person today. And it's socially distanced as well.
Yeah, in downtown, and that's in the Downtown Creative District. Well, thank you, Katie, and thanks to Downtown Partnership for everything that your team is doing to support the Downtown Business District and our creative businesses and our arts and culture downtown. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Same to you and the Cultural Office. Thanks, Angela.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, we did our first live on the street, Dave.
It worked.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting to see things happening downtown.
It really is. It really is. And now we're just flowing right into another interview. We've really been looking forward to chatting with Ellie Red Cloud. Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight on First Friday Live. Ellie is with My Black Colorado, and Ellie, actually, we got a fabulous promo video of My Black Colorado that we're going to share after our interview with you. So that'll help to really tell the story of this exciting initiative in the past couple years. Would you give us a quick summary of what's happening with My Black Colorado and why in particular you're finding a lot of extra support and interest this week?
Awesome. Yes, thanks so much for having me on the show and for giving us this opportunity to speak. So My Black Colorado, the mission of My Black Colorado is to facilitate and cultivate a cohesive ecosystem of the local Black community, and then also to inspire, innovate, and connect all of the local areas together. So Colorado Springs, Denver, Pueblo, all of the areas within Colorado. Right now this week, the climate in the country, we're seeing more of a change toward awareness of the Black experience in the United States overall. And with that, what My Black Colorado's mission is to create that cohesive ecosystem, because the awareness of the Black experience is a lot of time we face racism and bias based on stereotypes that we actually have no control over. These are just stereotypes that have lived on for generations. And so through My Black Colorado, we're able to tell the story of who we really are outside of these stereotypes. A lot of times communities get labeled as a group. And so as a group, people begin to think of Black people a certain way, or think of us in a different light than how we really are. It shows not only who we are as a community, but also the individualistic nature of who we are as just human beings and people. And even though we are connecting the Black community together in this area, because sometimes it can feel very lonely, there are certain things that are very culture related, and that's in any culture, not just the Black culture. And sometimes it can feel very lonely coming into a new community without having that connection. So being able to connect that community together while at the same time showing, who we are as a people, that we're just like everyone else, that it not only improves the Black community, but also improves the community overall. It shows who we are in Colorado Springs, in Colorado. And so that is really the message that we are wanting to get out. We do have some awesome sponsors. The cultural office is a sponsor, Pikes Peak Small Business Development Center, and several other sponsors. So we really appreciate that. One of the main initiatives that we have going is we have a Black business listing directory. There are a lot of Black business owners in Colorado, and so you can list in that directory for free. One of the reasons that is very important is because we do face bias in a lot of different areas. And also by being a Black female business owner myself, so I own a business consulting agency, Red Cloud Strategic Business Consulting. And one of the things that I find is that a lot of times you do face these stereotypes and you do face these bias. It's harder to get funding, it's harder to get investors, and then that trickles down into the success of the business. So even for me as a business strategy consultant, the majority of my clients are not minorities. They're not Black or any minority. And one of the main reasons is that they don't have the funding to invest in what I do in terms of strategy. They don't have the funding to invest in marketing. They don't have that available to them because a lot of times it's just harder to move forward in so many areas of business. So we do have the free directory is that. You also have the option where I offer to any of the paid members of My Black Colorado to have one-on-one business consulting. With me. We'll be launching some master classes here soon for business owners. So looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to that. So anyone who's interested in subscribing, this is an example of one of the magazines that we do put out. This is the art edition. And you see the two beautiful ballerina sisters here on the front. And these are, you can subscribe for $10 monthly. And you will also be listed as a sponsor in the magazine for that $10 monthly. It would also provide access, like I said, to the one-on-one monthly counseling, the master classes that we'll be offering, a lot of events that we do sponsor in the community. So if anyone is interested in joining and supporting the organization, you can do that at myblackcolorado.com/buy.
All right. You know, you guys have like a listing of isn't it 1,000 listings of Black businesses and creatives and individuals in Colorado. It is the place to go for people who want to support Black-owned businesses, Black restaurants, and find artists of color and just like tap into this community and funnel support to it. This is a great place to begin. And yes, the magazines are gorgeous. The photography, I mean, the quality, and I love what you said about like just taking control of how things are represented can sometimes tell a completely different story. And I see that through all the work you guys do.
That is so powerful. Yeah, that is so powerful, Ellie, your concept of telling those stories and busting the stereotypes. And it's a beautiful website, really great work.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And shout out to the founders, Brandon and Jenny Bournes. Brandon put this magazine together. We have a lot of Black photographers in here. All of the photography is through some Black photographers in Colorado in the community. So definitely, if you get a chance to check it out, please do.
So inspiring. Thank you guys for what you're doing and the way that you're just elevating. You're elevating so many more people than just yourselves. And that spirit is so beautiful. I hope we can all catch that spirit and pour more support into the Black community here in Colorado through your help.
Absolutely. and I think like one of the biggest things that we want to say too, and for me personally, it's like, yes, we're proud of our culture and we're proud of the things that make us Black Americans, but we don't want to leave out that American part as well, you know, and so we want to make sure that everyone sees that we are, you know, just like everyone else, to really, like as Dave mentioned, to really bust down those stereotypes and just make it easier for us all to come together, because when we better any group, we're bettering the community overall. So everything that we're doing, even though our push is toward the Black group, it's to better Colorado Springs, the state of Colorado, and then ultimately this trickles on down through the nation.
So true. That is so true. And I think it's a beautiful segue into showing our commercial or our lovely promotional video with many other voices talking about the work of My Black Colorado. Ellie Red Cloud, thank you for hopping on with us live tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
And thanks for your work. Please continue, because you're right. You're helping all of us, and we appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Shall we roll that beautiful video?
Roll the footage.
Black people, we need each other, period. And a lot of people don't reach out to anybody. If I know something and somebody else doesn't know something, just sharing that information with them helps them grow.
It's so important in the Black community to be able to fix our own things for our children, something they could stand on. This was Martin's dream, this was Malcolm's, all of their dreams, that we have a foundation to stand on.
So we got to come together and help build our communities for the future, continue to put things out there for Black excellence and just growth.
Us working together is what community building is all about.
They told me I could not be a writer. They told me I could not be a business owner. I heard that all the time I was growing up. Today I own 3 businesses, a nonprofit and a publishing company. The value of community is coming around one another and sharpening one another.
When we are investing in ourselves, when we are investing in one another, we're actually investing in our children, in our future, in what we desire this city and this state, this country to become.
An organization like My Black Colorado is vital to the thriving economic development of our Black community.
We've been separated too long. We need to come back together and lift each other up.
My Black Colorado Springs is not something new. We've been a part of Colorado's rich tradition and culture for years, but now is the time that we make sure others know about it, that we make sure as new people come into our communities that they remember and know and are able to benefit from our rich tradition.
That's why we need you to speak on it, talk about it.
And we really want to help grow this community. MyBlackColorado.com doing a lot for us, building a directory, and they're trying to put a lot of Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs together. And that's what it's all about. It's growth, it's community, and it's helping get us to that platform that we need.
Wow, that's a beautiful piece of work.
We have incredible leaders in our community that are advancing initiatives like this, and it does help us all do better.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Virtual First Friday, I never would have known. Well, thanks,
right.
Angela, for introducing many of us to what the wonderful folks at My Black Colorado are doing.
You know, we're all trying to do the same thing, and that is elevate creatives and elevate small business owners and elevate our community overall. Tonight is Virtual First Friday. It goes until 8 p.m. And if you're just tuning in, we are doing live coverage between now and 6 p.m. We are First Friday Live, co-hosted by Dave Gardner of Studio 809. And I'm Angela Seals from the Cultural Office. You can find full information about tonight at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. And we do encourage you to buy local art. There is a challenge grant out there that helps your purchases benefit the galleries even more.
Angela, I've been thinking virtually all day today, getting psyched up for this.
You've been
show.
Virtually thinking?
It's not exactly what I said or what I
No,
meant.
it's not. It's not.
But I wanted to share, there's a couple of interesting things going on. You know, if you, especially if you're catching this video on the replay or the podcast version a day or two or even a week later, a lot of the things that are happening on Virtual First Friday continue. There's some things that are just one-offs and just happen on this Friday night, but I know there are some things you can't do tonight. You have to wait till tomorrow, like virtual sheep shearing at Rockledge Ranch tomorrow.
Yes, Rockledge Ranch is hosting virtual sheep shearing. Their annual event that is so amazing, and of course nothing compares to the smells and sounds of sheep shearing day. But I think they're gonna try to do the next best thing, and that's tomorrow. All those details are on Peak Radar, and it has been neat to see how people have continued to connect with each other and bring these annual events that our community loves into living rooms right now.
Yeah, people are having to get more creative and thinking of creativity. The 4th of July Symphony on Your Porch, another really creative solution to everyone's desire to go hear a symphony in the park on the 4th of July, which they will not be able to do. Instead, you get to just sit on your porch and enjoy it.
That's right. They're having fireworks from 10 locations around El Paso County, where you can see the fireworks much closer than having to go to Memorial Park. And you'll be able to listen to the Colorado Springs Philharmonic on the radio at the same time, and really appreciate that music that the whole community rallies around every Independence Day. So, some things like this, you start to think, wow, like we're kind of trying some new things that maybe we could keep doing more fireworks displays around the region, and also the broadcast of our local arts groups like the Philharmonic or the Chamber Orchestra. The way you can watch performances right now online, our arts community has never been more accessible.
Very true, very true.
Yeah. Well, are we ready to fly into G44 Gallery?
The ladies from G44 are not in the green room. Becca Sickbird is very punctual. She's in the green room. I don't know if you want to flip-flop them, or what do you think?
Can we do one of our other gallery videos?
Why not?
Okay, we have found some great little video promos for other galleries in the region that we're not interviewing tonight to spread the love. So Dave's going to cue one up for us now.
I think art in a community, I think art saves and helps a community grow together. I work on both sides. I really take care of my artists as well as the public. I'm here to promote the artists themselves, but then also when the public comes in and they want to buy pieces, I'm here to cater to their needs as well. Here at Art 111, all the artwork is for sale, and if you would like to purchase a piece of art that you see on one of our videos or in a still shot, it's really easy. You just contact me. Go through our website as well. Yeah, I'm usually looking at, will this go in my house? Would I want this, or do I want to show it off? Thank you guys for watching. Remember, learn, create, and inspire.
Boy, there's some beautiful art in this town hanging on the walls.
It is, and Art 111 is a gallery and also an art supply location. And a lot of artists in town go there to get their art supplies for what they're making. So if you're out there making art that you had for the first time in a long time because you're at home more, check out Art 111 and their art supplies. Dave, I'm hearing from G44 that they're getting another meeting in progress message, and they're trying to call in, but they're on hold.
They're on hold? Shoot.
I don't know about that another meeting in progress message.
I don't either, especially since we have managed to admit a few other guests. So
yeah, she just sent me what it looks like. I'll ask her to try again.
Yeah, sometimes, you have to treat it like Windows, maybe quit and restart. So while Angela is doing that, I want to mention just a couple of really quick, exciting news bits about Studio 809 podcasts. Just last week, we celebrated the 200th episode of Outdoors with Hiking Bob. Hiking Bob Falcone does a really great podcast, never misses a week. That's how he's gotten up to 200 episodes already, all about great ways to enjoy outdoor recreation in the Pikes Peak region. I think he has a recent episode about that's specific to enjoying our trails in the era of COVID-19. And so if you head over to studio809podcast.com, you can find that along with the other dozen great podcasts. Angela, any luck so far?
They are continuing to try and continuing to get that same error. So maybe we should go ahead and chat with Becca, and hopefully we'll get a breakthrough in our ability to visit G44 Gallery, because it is a great one. And we have artist Lupita Carrasco, who's going to show us her solo show herself. So we're really going to try to bring that to you later this evening. But we'll begin with, I guess, with Becca.
Tell you what I'm going to do really quickly, Angela, is I'm going to send out another link. I don't know if it's going to be different, but you never know. So
over email?
Yep. All right. So we want to talk to Becca?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. All right, Becca Sickbird, come on down.
Becca Sickbird is the new Economic Recovery Manager and Director of the Manitou Springs Creative District, which is quite a heavy title, Becca. That's a lot.
New gig.
Yeah, I think during these times, though, I kind of see it as the confluence of a pandemic and a racial pandemic. We're all just trying to understand a lot of what's going on. So I'm not alone in taking on big projects and just trying to help move everyone forward.
That's a great way to bring it up. Well, hello. Will you give us an introduction to your new role in Manitou Springs?
Sure.
Let me interrupt real quickly. Angela, I just want to let you know that we do have the ladies from G44 Gallery in the green room now. So.
Oh, awesome. Sorry, Becca, we were having a technical issue with the interview before you. So we let you in this slot now. We're going to do your full interview, and then I'm just going to let them know that we'll admit them in a few minutes. Dave, maybe you want to take the interview for a second while I talk to the girls. Okay.
Glad to do it. And that's easy because, Becca, you were just getting started on answering.
That's true. Yeah, Becca was doing the talking.
Take it away, Becca.
Well, and isn't flexibility the key to these times? Really, that's a big part of what I'm doing, working with Manitou and appreciating the strength of the entire Pikes Peak region. I am so honored to be on tonight and to listen to how many strong leaders we have. I think that's incredibly inspiring. And I think one thing that really sets Manitou apart is the fact that they've weathered the Waldo Canyon fire, multiple floods, and they're building on those strengths, that sense of resilience and a fierce sense of can-do attitude. It just impresses me every day.
You said it. You said it. Yeah, you live in the cool part of town.
On the west side. It's all
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a great town.
Well, thank you for stepping into this really important role, because Manitou Springs is one of the state certified creative districts in the state of Colorado. We're so proud of that. Downtown Colorado Springs is as well. So we are an embarrassment of riches in the Pikes Peak region, and we're excited, Becca, for your leadership of the creative district out there in Manitou's a couple miles away in Manitou Springs. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on for First Friday in Manitou tonight?
Oh, I would be delighted. There's so much happening. So I'm going to try to go a little bit alphabetical. First off, there's the Commonweal Artists Co-op. And for anyone missing summer festivals right now, they're doing the Colorado Summer Art Market online. So they have that juried collection of gifts and souvenirs and gorgeous stained glass and my personal favorite pottery, but all kinds of goodies and gift cards to boot. So I love that they've taken their festival and turned it into something that everyone can see online. And then there's the Darpino Studio Gallery. So definitely for printmaking connoisseurs, look at the Facebook page because you're going to see some gorgeous silkscreen prints from Jermaine Rogers. Yes, yes. And I highly recommend checking out the skateboard because it's so cool. And I don't want to steal Michael's thunder, but I'll mention that the Heritage Center has some pretty big news. So please stay tuned to hear from him on that. And finally, the Manitou Art Center is taking this really intriguing approach to an online gallery exhibition meets online auction, and that's featuring what I consider just the gorgeous, gorgeous work of Liddell Deal Walter. So that exhibition, and I think it's asking a really important question right now. It's called, How Does Memory Hold the Past Captive? So, yeah, right?
Yeah, wow.
It's powerful stuff, and if that's not enough, then there's also work from Sally Knox Hall and Alicia Davis. It's all online, so I hope that everyone takes a look and enjoys.
Thank you so much. That was such a fun whirlwind verbal tour of First Friday here on June 5th in Manitou Springs. You can find all of the details and links to all the things that Becca just described at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. And thank you so much. We are going to be in Manitou again in about 10 minutes, talking to Michael Mao with the Manitou Springs Heritage Center. And thank you so much for elevating everything that's happening tonight in Manitou Springs.
We're delighted to be a part. Thank you.
It's great to have you.
And good luck with your new position, Becca. We'll all be excited to support you and the Creative District in its next chapter.
Thank you. None of us can do it alone.
That's true.
All right.
Next, we are visiting G44 Gallery on 8th Street in Colorado Springs, and we're going to get a tour of the new exhibition by Lupita Carrasco, and the artist herself is going to talk to us a little bit, as well as the owner of G44 Gallery, Gogh Stevens. Hi, G44, do we have you?
Are we here? Okay.
Yes! Yes. Hello!
Hi! We're in some really bad light. We're in bad lighting. Sorry.
That's okay. If the greatest tragedy that we experience in this interview now is bad lighting, we are okay. We have your minds and your voices and what you both have to share with us tonight. Lupita, congratulations on the exhibition.
Thank you.
Please know that we're all celebrating with you, even though you don't get the energy of all of us being in G44 with you tonight. We're out here on the internet cheering for you.
That's good to know, because we were just getting all the anxiety of the Zoom meeting. So.
Well, you can de-stress now. De-stress.
Tell us a little bit about the show.
What was that?
Tell us, that's okay. Tell us a little bit about the show tonight.
The show tonight is, it's called Hope Springs Eternal, and it's based upon just a bunch of walks that I was taking and little hikes while I was pregnant. I just had a baby on Christmas, and I spent my entire pregnancy going out for walks and hikes around town every single day. I might have missed a few days, but I was out there all the time up until, up until almost drop day. So it was pretty, it was really cool. I have not normally been somebody that gets out a whole lot because I have a lot of children and people to take care of, and my life is so busy that I never made time for myself. But something kind of changed when I got pregnant this time, and it was like I just felt like I have to do this one thing for myself. It has to happen, and even if it's just a little bit of time, I would drop off my kids in the morning, and then I would hit the lake and go around it, and then I started enlisting the help of my friends because I would get really discouraged, at like I had these goals that I wanted to meet, but I couldn't do it alone, and so I contacted a couple people, and they would go with me. So if they couldn't go, my daughter would go. Nicole Fetterhoff would come with me, and Emily, and she would come with me too.
Would you walk us through while you're telling us about your walks? Would you take us past some of the artwork?
Yeah, absolutely. We can. Some of these are more recent. Like this one right here is from Palmer Park, and this one over here is from Red Rock's Open Space. My friend Jill took me to her her special coffee rock, and that was really fun. This was, I think, I was extremely pregnant. I think it was in December, so I could barely get around, but it was a lot of fun. This over here was from Red Rocks as well. This one is from Palmer Park, and this one is a different side of Palmer Park. I think I have a lot of Palmer Parks in here. We can look at.
Show us one more, and then we'll talk to Gogh a little bit about how people can see this in person.
This one up here is like a memory walk of Red Rocks and Quail Lake. So.
Oh yes.
And Garden of the Gods.
Oh, that's a great close-up. Thank you, Gogh. Gogh, if people want to see these paintings in person, because of course there's nothing like seeing them in person, I know that there's a way they can do that at G44. Will you tell us about it?
There is a way. I am open Thursday through Saturday, 12 to 5. I just ask, just keep your social distancing, wear a mask. I have hand sanitizer, all that kind of thing. And if you're not comfortable with that, I am taking appointments as well, so private appointments.
Oh, that's great to know. Yeah. Very good. I'm wearing my earrings from G44 tonight.
They're beautiful. I love them.
The G44, in addition to having Lupita's gorgeous solo show right now, also has a great retail space in the front that is full of things made by local makers, including jewelry and pottery and purses and all kinds of things, right?
Yes, absolutely. I can walk you over there for a minute too. Sorry, as you guys get all seasick. There's lots of jewelry, other artists available as well. All local artists and artisans.
Very good. Well, I know you're local too as a native of this community, and it's so exciting to see your business weathering this season.
Thank you. I know it's been a huge learning curve, a lot of hard work, but this community is fantastic and always so supportive, and I'm grateful for everybody here.
How would you summarize for people where your gallery's place is in the community? Like, what you want to be known for?
I like to consider myself like a sophisticated yet approachable gallery. I do all local Colorado artists and artisans, everything from up and coming to well established, and everything in between. I just am here for the community. I'm from here, like you mentioned, and it's just important for me. It's my way of giving back to the community that's given me so much through all these years, and I'm just looking to bring joy and beautiful artwork into people's homes.
And Angela, did we have a chance to mention the kind of unusual location for a First Friday?
Oh, right. Yeah, we wanted to ask you about that, Gundiga, because virtual First Friday has allowed you to be an official location of First Friday, even though you're a little bit off the creative corridor. So what has that been like for you? I know you normally have your openings on another night during the month, or you do them on the same time and just market them.
I am just incredibly grateful and thankful to Downtown Partnerships and Peak Radar and Copper and everybody for including me in First Friday during this. I've changed my schedule to participate with First Friday because it's just you're making me emotional. Anyway, I'm very grateful for everybody for including me. I am off the beaten path. I'm in the southwest side of town, Ivy Wild, Broadmoor area, in a random strip mall. But yeah, so I'm very lucky to be included. It's nice to be part of the Colorado, or the artistic corridor and everything that's going on. So
I like
thank
your
you.
neighborhood. You have very cool neighbors. You're in a great spot.
Thank you.
It's not a random strip mall. It's a great location. Thank you for flying us into it tonight, Lupita. Thank you so much for the first person, the perspective of the artist. I hope when people come to the gallery and see the paintings that they remember your description of being heavy with life and walking through Palmer Park and being inspired. And congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good luck with First Friday tonight.
Thank you.
Again, all of the First Friday details are at peakradar.com/First Friday, including a link to G44's information and virtual tour of the gallery.
Very neat stuff. All right, Michael Mayo is in the building.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I couldn't help but think when Lupita was talking about the coffee rock, how we all kind of adopt pieces of the landscape into our own lives around here and have like little places that are like our places. And it's so neat to get a view into that through our local artists.
Yeah.
And
Lupita's got an interesting style because she has taken care of so many people that she has a real limited time when she gets in front of the canvas. And so it's really neat. It's neat stuff.
Yeah, she does have a very distinct style. It's wonderful to get to hear her perspective. And now we turn our perspective back to Manitou Springs, where we're speaking with Michael Mayo with the Manitou Springs Heritage Center. And so excited to be back out on the west side. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Angela, how are you this evening?
We're doing great. We've been having a whirlwind tour this first hour of coverage of First Friday. And we're so excited, Michael, that we get to talk to you because we know that there's some big news in your part of the creative world here.
Michael, it looks like Zoom's trying to see some video. Are you going to be able to give us any video?
Hope so, but I'm working on that right now.
Okay.
But just to tell you a little bit, I'm a volunteer with the Manitou Springs Heritage Center. I've been serving as the president of the Heritage Center for the last 2 years. The Heritage Center has made some tremendous headway over the last 2 to 3 years. Thank you. And thank you for having me on today. One of the things that we have done or accomplished over the last month or so was to purchase the facility that houses the Manitou Springs Heritage Center. We feel very proud about concluding this transaction, and it's viewed as an opportunity to provide a permanent house for the museum and to serve the people of Manitou Springs and the Pikes Peak region.
Wonderful.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We have some exciting exhibits scheduled at the Heritage Center, but of course at the beginning of the outbreak we had to take a little detour around all this, and this is when we opted to start posting virtual exhibits. Very innovative for the Heritage Center, which incidentally is a very small operation. We operate solely on the generosity and the support of volunteers throughout our community. So we're thankful to have such a support staff working at the Heritage Center and supporting all the activities that we embark on through the Heritage Center. I'm still working on that video. I apologize for that.
That's okay. It's exciting to hear about your virtual programming. I know that you always list your films and your lectures and things on Peak Radar. I don't know if we have your virtual exhibits, so we'll check on that. But Peak Radar Virtual, is another way that you can list those new exhibits and help people find out about them. Because you guys have been doing really great work, and it's been exciting to see what you've been doing the past few years in particular.
Well, we appreciate that, Angela. One of our marquee exhibits has been the Van Briggle exhibit, which actually opened 3.5 years ago.
Is it that long ago now? Oh my goodness.
Well, like every other museum exhibit, it starts with an idea followed by a few artifacts that might be in the possession of a member of our museum. In this instance, our volunteer board member, Shirley Wade, happened to be a collector of Van Briggle. We have one of the largest Van Briggle collections in the Pikes Peak region. It's composed of well over 150 different pieces, all of which are at the same time. We came across this idea to do a virtual exhibit through actually a board meeting, and if you're a small museum like we are, you have to figure out a way to get off the sidelines and back into the game. So we were very thankful to have the support of the community, and it's been a group effort in trying to put this exhibit on. I'm still working on that video, but
that's okay. We're ready, to wrap up at this point, Michael. But it was so nice to talk to you. Your voice came through very clearly. And your vision for the strength of the position out there at Manitou Springs Heritage Center right now came through loud and clear. So happy for you guys at purchasing your building and the new virtual exhibits. Will you just, for our last minute or two, would you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with First Friday? I think it's exciting to see other cultural institutions participate in First Friday.
Well, for First Friday, we happen to encapsulate our Van Briggle collection and make it our virtual exhibit for First Friday. You can see that virtual exhibit at ManitouSpringsHeritageCenter.org. It's an opportunity to see some early and later pieces that were produced by the Van Briggle Pottery Company. And incidentally, Van Briggle himself is quite a rock star when it comes to pottery. He was born in Felicity, Ohio back in 1869, and at the age of 17, he moved to one of the foremost, he moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, and began work at one of the foremost potteries in the country at that time. That was the Rookwood Pottery Company. He worked at Rookwood until 1899, when he contracted tuberculosis and was forced to move to the Colorado Springs region for the purpose of recuperating from his tuberculosis. He moved here with his wife. He survived another 4 to 5 years or so, but during that time, he produced the most magnificent pottery. He entered the pottery in international exposition shows, including the St. Louis Exposition, the William and Clark Exposition, and the Paris Salon. Excuse my French, but at the Paris Salon, he actually did win an international award for his pottery piece known as Despondency. And Despondency, just to describe that very briefly, is made of a matted glaze, and it's a woman reposing at the very top of a vase. It's a very magnificent piece. And, while he was here in Colorado Springs, Van Briggle developed this famous matte glaze look, which some of you may be aware of.
Yeah.
It's a classic look. It was copied from pottery that was produced during the Ming Dynasty. But as I said, he lived here for about 4 to 5 years before passing away, but not before achieving international acclaim.
Yeah,
And,
thank you so much. That we need to wrap up, but how wonderful that you have shared with us, Michael, not just information about the Heritage Center, but some history of Van Briggle, who all of us have seen and know, but I learned some things from that biography. Thank you for sharing that story with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us today.
Yeah, and congratulations again on everything the Heritage Center is doing. And if folks would like to see Despondency or more work by Van Briggle, you can check that out through the Manitou Springs Heritage Center website or at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Dave. You have a good evening.
You too. Thanks, Michael.
You too.
Well, it's unfortunate we couldn't see him, but what an interesting story. What a legacy from just 4 or 5 years in the Pikes Peak region. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's interesting how I feel like our hour came kind of full circle, because those masterworks that we saw at Anita Marie Fine Art Gallery, those landscapes are so part of the DNA of the history of art making in the city of Colorado Springs and in Manitou Springs and Old Colorado City. And it's neat then to get to talk about Van Briggle at the end, who's also one of the cornerstones of what we're known for in our arts history.
Yep. Well, the hour always goes by too quickly.
But here we are. So First Friday, though, continues for another 2 hours until 8 p.m. You can find all the information at peakradar.com/virtual First Friday. Dave, did you get any new insights tonight? What were the highlights for you of our whirlwind coverage?
Great stuff hanging on the walls in the galleries. I mean, you definitely want to get through those, and you can do it in the comfort of your own home on on virtual First Friday. But I encourage you to also get out, and as we heard, some of those galleries are now opening, some by private appointment, but worth a look. And I just want to, Angela, just really give a tip of the hat to the Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak region and Peak Radar, because your small organization has really just been so creative and come up with a brilliant solution to what was a challenge, and you've turned it into yet another joy that we hope to continue long after COVID-19 is a distant memory. Yeah, First Friday is an exciting collaboration between Manitou Springs and Old Colorado City and downtown, and Peak Radar is so pleased to be able to support. Someone said earlier, it was Becca, she said we can all do more when we do it together. First Friday is a great example, and a lot of what we've seen tonight is a great example of that. Yeah, I tried to give you all the credit, but you're right there. And you see how I always just share it out where it actually belongs, because our arts community is very collaborative.
and very few things happen without a lot of collaboration, including the show. So thank you to Studio 809 for the technical support and the platform for telling the stories of these artists and getting the word out that we do need to support our local artists. We need to support our local galleries. Please buy local art. Tonight, we incentivize that with special challenge grant from the Cultural Office through 8 p.m. and instructions of how to make sure that your art purchase benefits the local gallery you bought it from, or on peakradar.com/virtual First Friday.
Great. I was going to make you give that URL one more time, but you did it. So I think we can call it a wrap.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for your support of local arts and culture.
Good night.